Hello, 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 everyone. It is that time. It is Hack Ohio 2020. My name is Kevin Lloyd. I am here as your MC, and it is game time. So I know everybody's been anticipating this moment after a very, very long and diligent, but I'm sure eventful weekend. And what I want to do is I'm going to take a few minutes as we have everybody basically coming into this room to get started with the award ceremony to wrap up this afternoon. I want to share a little bit about myself first to kind of kick things off. So I think some of you may have seen a link earlier, but I'm Kevin Lloyd. I am the co-founder and CEO of MYLE, which stands for Make Your Life Entertaining. It is a entertainment software and lifestyle data analytics platform. Yep, pretty cool stuff, right? So we are basically focused on creating multiple software solutions tied to the entertainment industry and hospitality industry. And that's the software side of things. And obviously the data analytics, we all understand how big data is so important to us in our future. Our unique niche is the fact that we capture lifestyle behaviors and data around that, which is really important for entertainment districts, venue owners, entertainers. As you all know, especially in this day and time with COVID 2020, so much has changed. And obviously the entertainment industry has been completely impacted. However, we are also looking at how we can leverage innovation and technology and tie in COVID-related components into MYLE as well. So what the platform is, for those that want to know, it is a social activity, our first platform, social activity and entertainment platform that makes it easy for you to find things to do, places to go, and food to eat, right? But we leverage all the cool things like machine learning, predictive analysis, artificial intelligence, to make it easier. So no matter who you are and where you are, we want to be able to provide you with things that are relevant to you. So with that being said, it's been a really interesting year, as you all know, and technology is so important, not just today, but for our future. So excited to have this opportunity to be emceeing with you all. But one of the things that, was really cool when they said, hey, Kevin, would you like to do this, is one of the reasons why they wanted me to MC was because I'm in the middle of a lot of really cool things. And so I'll get the opportunity as we are preparing for what's going to happen with our agenda, which is going to be pretty amazing as we bring on some of our participants from this weekend, is to share a couple of things with you that I have going on. So outside of MYLE, where we're in our proof of concept and getting ready for our rollout of version 2.0, which is really that one-stop shop, we've been focused just like you all were this weekend. We've been doing that all year long in the midst of this pandemic. Well, in addition to that, I've had the opportunity to be involved in a couple of other projects. One of them is with the organization called Black Hack. I think many of you may have heard of Black Hack before, and that's BLKHACK, but they were founded by Brandon and Bruce Jones about 4 years ago. And it was to really help from a diversity standpoint, to help those of Black and Brown ethnicities to really get involved in hacking, right? So all this cool technology, but really having that entry, as we know there's a disparity when you look at the numbers of those that are in the tech space or that get funded from a VC perspective. So they created this opportunity, which was a social organization. And over the last 4 years, we've learned a lot. And now we're about to launch in 2021, early 2021, a place called Venture Suite. And that is for innovators and creators of Black and Brown nature, but for all, right? We say it's by us for all, to have a place where we can go and we can vibe and learn from each other and do what you all just did this actual weekend, right? We know that there's a lot of people with a lot of thoughts and ideas and technical skills, and we want to be able to bring them all together in one place, and that's what Venture Suite is designed for. Well, even though we understand everybody's not focused on that side of innovation, we know some people are looking not just to be startup founders or entrepreneurs, but to pursue careers in technology. So we are actually going to be launching in 2021 as well something called Color-Coded Labs. And what that is an upskilling program, right? For those that want to get tech credentials, you will now be able to learn how to code, which many of you already know how to do, but you'll learn how to code. And we want to help people really from an economic standpoint go from that $30,000 to $45,000 job range to $60,000 to $90,000 job range by going through this training process, or coding boot camp, as you could call it, right? So that is going to be launching early 2021 as well. So we're excited about that. And there's a public-private partnership that's involved with that. So when you look at City Council from the City of Columbus supporting this effort, as well as a lot of others, Franklin County, Rev 1, and a lot of others, JP Morgan Chase, that have come to the table to support this effort because we understand that there's a need in our community. Is really important. And I have to mention OSU PAC as well to help support the building itself with Venture Suite to help us actually create this. So really excited about this public-private partnership and everything that's happening to really change our community. Well, in addition to that, we're building this ecosystem, right? So we have this place where you can go and kind of hang out and learn from each other. You have this upskilling and tech credentialing piece, but we're also going to be launching Venture Combine. Well, what is that? That is an accelerator, right? Well, let me say it the right way, a pre-accelerator that we'll be establishing. So a 12-week pre-accelerator process to help startups to understand and have the foundation needed to scale their businesses. And what we want to do is help them then get into your Y Combinators, your 500 startups, and your tech stars, okay? So that's really exciting for us because we know that there's so much opportunity out here in Columbus, right? You got to think about where Columbus is from a startup perspective. We've seen all these amazing startups come right out of Columbus, Ohio. I know the most recent one we all celebrated was Root Insurance, right? With the IPO, everybody excited about that. Well, we want to keep that going. And that's one of the things that we'll be looking to do to help our entrepreneurs and startup founders right here in Columbus to actually get going. Then with that, obviously we're working on a venture fund. It's called 1921 Ventures, some significance behind that name. And we're excited about that. So same thing, leveraging our public and private partners to help pull that together to help fund these particular startup founders to help them grow their business. And then the last thing that I want to mention that I'm really working on is Can't Stop Columbus, right? So here with the pride and joy of our capital city, an organizer with Can't Stop Columbus. We've been working really hard ever since the beginning of the pandemic in March, doing some amazing things in the community to keep people engaged and involved and to help where help is needed, just to show you that you can't stop Columbus. So shout out to all those volunteers that have been working diligently over the last 8 months now to really have a positive impact on our community. And as we see these numbers continue to spike, we understand that our job is not done. And it requires all of us to come together, to work together as one community to help us make it through this time. So those are a few things that I'm working on that I'm pretty excited about that I wanted to share with each of you today as we get prepared for an amazing, some amazing presentations. And I'm sure that you all will be intrigued by what you all are going to see this afternoon. So with that being said, I think we're almost ready. So I'm gonna ask that everybody stands by. Just stand by for a couple of minutes, and we will be back with you all shortly. Thank you very much.
So, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Parshva Shah, and I hope you all had a good blast this weekend. I know a lot of you are probably tired, so thank you for staying up and coming out to showcase this afternoon. And before we get started, I want to take a moment to acknowledge the great team that we have that puts together this event and the various other events that we put on. HackOHI is put on by OHIO, a student-run organization here at The Ohio State University that works on promoting informal learning and helping fostering a tech culture we have. What that means is we want to promote fun, challenging events like these hackathons where people can strive to improve technical skills and meet like-minded individuals. HackOHI is just one of the many events we put on to accomplish this. Each spring, we have our annual Make Ohio event, the OSU Make-a-thon. In the years past, people have come up with some crazy cool ideas like dog treat launchers and some heated couches. If this sort of stuff excited you, keep a lookout for Make 2021 next spring. Also in the spring, we have our annual Show Ohio event. This is an opportunity for students to connect with the tech community and show the incredible projects where students at Ohio State are building. Keep an eye out for this next spring as well. Although, why does this fun have to wait till college? We don't believe it should, and that's why we are proud to announce that we're gonna have our 4th annual high school hackathon this upcoming spring. We'll be looking for college students to help mentor these high schoolers during the event, so be sure to keep an eye out for all this as well. OHI also partners with a lot of various other organizations around campus to help put on an assortment of other events throughout the year for students to participate in. If you're ever curious about events, you can find out more details on our website at hack.osu.edu. Looking forward, OHIO has a plan to create a deepening range of co-curricular activities, giving students activities outside the classroom to engage them, whether it's a one-day workshop, a weekend-long hackathon, or a semester-long project. We're looking to support entrepreneurial opportunities with seed funding, scholarship, mentorship, and contacts. We're looking to create a hub in the Columbus community for all students interested in technology. And if you want to join us in this, come reach out to us at hackathon@osu.edu. And this year, even though we had our first virtual hackathon, we still had an amazing attendance with over 400 participants and 20 schools represented, more schools than we've ever had in the past. And OHIO would not be able to do any of these things without the help of our sponsors. And we want to thank our sponsors for all these generous donations. And today, we are thrilled to have Kevin Lloyd here to join us to MC our final team demos and award ceremony. Kevin is the founder and CEO of MYLE LLC, an entertainment software and data analytics company. He's also the director of BLK Hack, providing access to minorities to engage in intellectual discussions regarding entrepreneurship, tech, and economic development. Thanks for joining us, Kevin.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it, Parshava. Listen, y'all, it's time, right? We're excited to be here today. It's that time for Ohio. And this is 2020, as we all know, right? So we want to kick it off. As he said, it's been a long weekend. You guys have been excited about this, but HackOHI time is here officially. Before we get started, one of the things that I want to share, I shared a little bit about myself earlier today. If anybody needs to reach out to me, you can do that. We'll put it in the chat as well. But I can be contacted at kevinlloyd@myle.com. That's KevinLloyd@myle.com. If you want to be involved in any of the efforts that I mentioned, whether it's with MYLE, whether it's with Venture Suite, Black Hack, the different things that we're doing in our community, Can't Stop Columbus, any of those great things. But with that being said, it is go time. So I want everybody to know that the College of Engineering is co-hosting this event to give our alumni and friends a chance to see the amazing work of our students. But they also want to help you build your Buckeye network, right? We'll be sending an email out with a roster of attendees who have agreed to share their contact information with you. We hope that you'll reach out to one of your fellow alumni or college supporters and make a connection. One of the things that I want to share, I didn't mention earlier, so even though I have this entrepreneurial background and startup background and do a lot in our community, I also have a 25-year retail executive background. And the reason why I mention that is because relationships tied to what we just said is going to be shared. Relationships are critical. So I want everyone to understand that you need to take full advantage when you receive that list of those who say, I want to stay in contact, that you take full advantage of it. And I can guarantee you it will benefit you in the long run as well as in the short term. So make sure you stay in contact with those that are involved. Now, what is it going to look like today, right? The agenda for tonight is going to be the following. There will be 3-minute presentations of the top 10 team projects, okay? There will be an open Q&A for all 10 teams after they present. Viewers, right, you will have the chance to ask questions in the Q&A tool during the team's presentations. However, we won't get to those questions until after all 10 teams present, right? The sponsors will actually present the winners of their challenges. So as you all know, we have some amazing sponsors, as we do every year. HackOHI winners will present their projects, and then viewers will get to vote on their favorite project for the Buckeye Choice Award. Well, what's the Buckeye Choice Award, right? Well, during the Q&A, there's going to be a poll that's going to drop, right? You will have the chance to literally rate your favorite project. So you get to weigh in as an audience and have an impact on who the winner of the Buckeye Choice Award is going to be. So next, what I would like to do is I would like to introduce our VIPs. Who are the VIPs, right? These are our very important panelists, okay? So we're going to start with Diane Daggerford, who's the Ohio State Vice President and Chief Information Officer. We have Dr. Beth Hume, Ohio State Vice Provost for Student Academic Success and Dean of Undergraduate Education. And then, by the way, we know that there was some questions, there was some technical challenges there. So we're not sure if Dr. Hume is going to be able to join us, but hopefully she will. We have Ted Griffith, who's the Managing Director at Jobs Ohio. Damon Jaggars, who's the Ohio State Vice Provost and Dean of University Libraries. And last but not least, Scott Osborne, Ohio State Vice President of Economic and Corporate Engagement. Okay, so with that, it is time for us to move forward and begin to introduce our teams. Okay, so let's see. I am going to get ready to present our teams, right? So what we're going to do is, this is the process that's going to exist, okay? When we announce the teams, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to raise your hand, okay? When you raise your hand, that's when they're going to know that they're going to bring you on stage, okay? So we want to make sure everybody does that. In regards to what the process is going to look like, each team is going to have 2 minutes, okay, to actually discuss their actual project, and then we're going to move on to the next team, okay? So there's a fun fact out here that I want to share as well. Let's see. Fun fact is, let me see, 30,000 folks are without power in Central Ohio right now per the news. Wow. So we mentioned that there was some technical difficulties with Dr. Hume. Well, clearly she's not the only one. She's one of 30,000 people in Central Ohio. For those that didn't know, we had a storm that came through. It was very windy. They said it was going to be, and obviously it's blown the power out. So with that said, that explains why we've had some of these technical challenges today. So as soon as I can get the first team, we're going to go ahead and get started. But hold on. This is what I just recognized. We actually have a slight delay. So what we're going to do is we're going to hold on one moment, and then we're going to go ahead and let you know who the teams are. And we're going to go ahead and get started, okay? So just give me one moment as that is being populated, and we're going to get it rolling. And actually, while I'm waiting on that, instead of you guys just waiting around for a second, what I want to do is share a little bit of what's going to happen, right? So the teams are going to come up. They're going to go ahead and deliver their presentations. I'm going to walk through the descriptions. And then after they actually get done, the judges will have an opportunity to do their presentations. We're going to have a presentations from the sponsors as well. And in addition to that, we're going to have a segment on our social impact component. All right. Okay, here they go. The names are dropping in. All right, here we go. Let's see. Looks like our first presenter is going to be Cadence. Cadence is a voice-powered code editor for physically impaired software engineers. It makes use of recent advancements in natural language processing to help level the field and keep everyone moving forward. So Cadence, the team from Cadence, if you would go ahead and make sure you raise your hand so that you will be able to take the screen, you will be up first. So let's see, I'm looking for the hands to be raised. And as a reminder, each team will actually have 2 minutes to present, okay? And if you bear with us for one moment, we should have Cadence up shortly.
Hi, everyone. How y'all doing?
I would like. Ooh, sorry about that. Kevin, I'd like to share my screen so I can
show a demo. I don't know if you're in charge of screen sharing. It says it's disabled attendee screen sharing.
That should be rectified shortly, so you will have that capability any second.
No worries. All right.
Are you able to share it now?
All right, let me try again. I got host disabled attendee screen sharing.
All right. Give us one moment.
It should be. Yeah.
Rectify for you, Sam.
Yeah, no worries. Oh, I got it now. I don't know what's going on. So y'all can see my screen here. All right.
Quick intro real fast. So like Kevin said, Cadence is like a voice-powered code editor that sort of tries to aim to make programming more accessible to everyone. And we're sort of short on time here, so I'll let Sam just take it away with our demo and show you sort of what we came up with.
Great. So our editor is voice-powered, so I'm going to talk to it, and it's going to write code for me. I'd like a function called double that takes one parameter, n. Clear recording. Sorry. Define a function double with one parameter n. Send message. All right, so we have def double n. I'm just going to keep going. Return n plus n. Send message. Great, we have a function. Cap out, send message. Let the variable be the result of double 12. Send message. Great. First, then we're going to want to print the variable. And so I'm going to say call print variable, send message. And then finally, we want to execute this. So I'm going to say execute code. And we now see in the output here 24. So that's kind of the base things. Some of the cool stuff we can do besides more Python code is that we can delete lines. So one thing I'm going to do is say delete line 11, clear recording, delete line 11, send message. And right away you can see line 11 was deleted. Execute code. So now I ended up with a syntax error, undo code, undo code.
And
Great, so we have our code back. So we are speaking directly to the computer and we're writing code. Some of the coolest stuff we can do are for loops, and I'm really excited about this one.
you got about 30 seconds left, if that. Yeah.
For I in range from 0 to 100, call print double I, send message. So we were pretty close here, but in general, it'll do this, all right? And then you can run the code. And so, like I said, the whole point is that we can speak to this. And so if you cannot type, it's much easier for you to write code because we want to make it easier for people with physical impairments or wrist damage to continue being software developers or to get into this field where they previously would be unable to.
All right, Sam, thank you. Your time is up for Cadence, but thank you all so much for your presentation and the time and effort that you went into making that happen. Nice job. Thank you all. All right. Awesome. So we're going to move on to our next participants, right? So this is To Do Tomorrow. Okay. So To Do, the team from To Do Tomorrow, please raise your hands and Zoom. Okay. And then I'm going to give you guys a background a little bit on To Do Tomorrow. It's an online web portal for mapping data of utility poles to catalog images and service information. Built using Java backend and JavaScript front end, as well as Google Maps API. So, To Do Tomorrow, you should be ready to come up and present. Make sure you raise your hand. Here you go.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
We sure can.
All right. So Matt's going to go ahead and screen share, and we'll try and stay in timeline. So I'll talk really fast.
There you go.
Our portal was designed for the AEP challenge. So they're looking for providing us a series of data and then using that data to visualize their utility pole network. So at the top of the page, we have a list of issues reported from the database, the total submissions that were sent in, the number of unique polls in the database, and then next we have a draggable map. So if we go through and zoom around the map and look at different polls, and then if you click on one of them, we're taking the entire data set and then using the coordinate data to match the polls together into one object. So we have various images of them. And then we're also reporting data on each poll. So you can see in the box, if you click on different ones, Matt, they'll be able to see that the data in the box changes, and that's coming from our backend API. And then we also have a utility within it that does auto zooming. So on some of the images, we were able to process based off the markers of where the poll exists. You can see that that one's been kind of zoomed. Yeah, go to the next one. You can see that this one's been zoomed in. So this project would allow AEP to more efficiently view their data and understand what issues they might need to rectify and inspect problems with their network, which might be especially relevant on a day like today where it's extremely windy and there's a lot of down power lines. They'd be able to understand the issues with photos coming in and figure out how to best repair those as quickly as possible. Yeah, so I think that's all of our project.
Awesome. Thank you very much for your presentation and staying within the time frame. Nice job. All right. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, that was to do tomorrow. We have clickbait coming up next. So clickbait, would you please raise your hand so we can have you come on to present as well? And clickbait, in an increasingly digital age, a big push for online materials and learning tools has become a necessity. Our tool allows students to upload a PDF or image and develop study sets through frequency word webs, direct PDF highlighting, and OCR technology. After choosing the vocabulary from the uploaded set, the cards are created and students can start learning. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, clickbait.
Hello, we are Team Clickbait. Our project is called QuickCard. So QuickCard is a program built from the ground up to help online students. I mean, obviously, as you guys all know, there's been a big increase in online schooling and online classes. And with that comes a lot more like online data for classes, like all of your class files. I mean, they're all online files. So we're trying to come up with a way to better study using the files given. So for example, if you're given a document and you want to take notes on it, instead of being able to like print it out and take notes on it, we came up with a way to easier take notes on it, which we'll show in just a second. And then using the JavaScript SDK for AWS, we take advantage of their cloud OCR technology called TextTract. And using this, we can actually parse data out of documents and pull the words that are most important. So we use some algorithms to basically figure out which of the words are more important. And we take the top 30 words out of a document. And then referencing another API, we can find the dictionary definitions of each of these words and organize them in word sets like this. And then using that, we'll go on to the next page. You can see we now have flashcards just automatically generated based off of the contents of the files we've uploaded and scanned. So an example use case of this is, say you're in a biology class. You can take the study guide that your teacher sends to you, upload it to our service, have it scan it. It'll come up to that word web. You can pick the topics that you want to focus on, and it will automatically generate a set of flashcards that you can study with.
30 seconds.
And then we'll demonstrate our PDF functionality. So this is just a way you can easier take notes. So by highlighting the parts of the document that you find interesting and that you want to reference later on, you can just highlight it and it will pop it over to the other screen. And yeah, and that's about all for us.
All right. Well, thank you for the team that just delivered clickbait. All right. So we appreciate that presentation. And let's see if we can, that was my timer. You made it before the timer. Nice job. All right. So with that being said, we're going to move on to our next team. So this one is Conflicting 409s. Conflicting 409s. It says, we created a web application intended to support less affluent communities by creating a platform where community service can be sponsored by altruistic individuals. And if you would have raised, let's see, did they raise your hands? Conflicting 409s. They should be on screen momentarily. And you will have 2 minutes to present as well.
Is anyone from Conflicting 409? We just need you to raise your hand.
Yep. Let's see. Conflicting 409. Going once, going twice. And we may have to come back to Conflicting 409s. All right. We will come back. Let's see. So send us a message if you are online and we'll get you going. So next group, right? You get to move up a little bit quicker is correlation coefficient. Correlation coefficient. Please raise your hand in a group and then we'll get ready to bring you on stage. And their description is, Safety Score is a Chrome extension that helps you stay informed as you browse homes. It integrates directly with popular home browsing sites to provide you with relevant insurance information without having to leave the page. Okay, so they're going to be presenting safety score. And let's see. Here we go. I think you might be on mute.
All right. You're all good? You could see that?
Yep, we sure can.
All right. Ryan, can you hear me too? You good too? All right. Well, I guess I could start.
Yep,
So this is insurance vision. This is basically we're dealing with the problem of going on Zillow or websites like that and not having the easy access to the numbers for safety ratings. So what we did is we created a simple Chrome extension, that can give you the data about LGBTQ safety, theft safety, woman safety, and natural disaster at your fingertips. So what will this enable the user to do? Better decision making for where to buy homes, and easy access to data while searching online for homes. So this is an exact, this is a screenshot from our web service. So you can see in the top right, we have the Chrome extension. And you could see this is exactly the safety ratings out of 10. So the LGBTQ safety, 9 out of 10, and so forth, with the women's and theft and overall safety, my bad. And then at the end, it'll calculate the estimate for your insurance based on those numbers. So yes, very general. Ryan, do you want to add anything real quick? All right, I don't think he can hear me. All right, so
there we go.
There you go.
Okay, so I have like 30 seconds left, but the whole idea of this project was to merge as much data as we could into as convenient as a way of access as possible. So previously, this is stuff you would have to open up 3-4 browser tabs of Google searches to find for an individual property. And that's not something that's very time efficient in a hot real estate market where you're looking at like 50, 60 homes to try and find one that is in your price range. So we believe that by using a browser extension and putting that in the page directly, we're able to help home buyers make more informed decisions.
All right, thank you very much. Time is up there, so thank you all, correlation coefficient and safety score. So we appreciate that presentation. We are going to move on to our next group, which is going to be hugs, not bugs. Okay, hugs, not bugs. So please raise your hand. I believe they have. Yep, they've raised their hands. All right. And I believe this is, yep, so here we go. Providing data regarding COVID safety, whether people are adhering to social distancing and wearing a mask. And it's just about go time.
Hi guys, do you hear me all right?
We sure can.
All right, so as you know, we're in the middle of a pandemic, and we decided to make a program that uses computer vision to tell if people in a public area are social distancing and if they're all wearing masks. So as you can see, we have 2 windows up right now. One of them in the middle looks for people in the image, and it uses an Xbox Connect to figure out and do like a little bit of trigonometry to figure out how far apart they are. And the one on the right, if I look at the camera, sometimes it doesn't pop up, but that one also detects if people are wearing masks. So let me demo the one in the middle. I have my roommate Devin here. As you can see on the left, it says we're 6 feet apart. If we walk closer, the numbers should go down. Yeah, and then it says move 6 feet apart. And yeah, and the one on the right, if I take my mask off, it's really consistent when I take the mask off. And then when I put it on, it should, yeah, you can see it should light up with the green square and say you're wearing a mask. So to accomplish this, on both of them, we used AI, of course, in the middle one to find any person in the image, and then we get the location and see where that is with the
and see how far away that is with the Kinect. On the right one, we trained a model to detect if a face is wearing a mask or if it's not. And ideally, moving forward, we would make a GUI that combines all this together so that somebody who has a storefront or such as like a subway station or something would be able to see and get analytical data about how people are social distancing and wearing masks.
All right, time's up. Very nice. Thank you. Right. So hugs, not bugs. All right. Nice job. Thank you for your presentation. And we're going to move on to our next participant. So the next team. All right, here we go. Psych presents, right? So please raise your hand. Okay. This is an application that uses a combination of OpenCV in the YOLO V3 algorithm to detect objects in live videos. When an animal is detected, for example, information is sent to a Firebase database as well as to the Twilio API for sending text messages to users. We also designed an iOS application to display a list of all the previous alerts with the images when an animal was observed. And I believe they are ready to rock and roll.
Hello.
Yep, there you go.
So we'll begin now. We'll give you a quick rundown of our app first. So we're Team Psych, and we're here to show you our threat detector app. So basically the problem, why did we decide to do a threat detector app? So as college students, a lot of us are familiar that residence halls don't allow certain things like animals, dogs, cats, and whatnot. And usually the front desk will let you know about this like before you enter the building with such an item. And then having thought about this situation, we started to think more of it. Like, what if someone brings another forbidden item, something which is smaller, more dangerous than an animal? And what if someone enters a room they're not supposed to? How can people at the front desk be able to know like something wrong is going on in like the basement in the residence hall? Next slide, please. So that's when the threat detector came to mind. Basically a system which is gonna monitor a live video feed and send an alert when an object is identified. So a couple of potential applications. Personal surveillance. If you leave your room for 1 minute and you're very paranoid, like you want to know if anyone enters your room, you could let the program run and it'll use your webcam and let you know if someone enters your room while you're gone. And public safety. Like let's say someone enters the residence hall hiding a weapon. And then in a hallway, in an empty hallway, they think it's cool, I can remove it. But then if you let this program run in a hallway and the subject removes the weapon, you can easily get an alert through the mobile app or through a SMS notification. And also to grant access. This program can be used to train, you can train the program to recognize people who are allowed to enter a building.
25 seconds.
Oh, okay. Let's jump to the demo.
All right. So we basically did most of the stuff in a Python version. Was supposed to use a UI. We were going to write most of the stuff from this command line. So this is basically going to try to detect, in this case, a human being, and that's me in this case. So once it detects a person, it's going to send a notification to the user, and it's going to send the name of the person, the object, and a picture of the person. So this, so this is basically what it does. That's like the whole thing, how the whole thing works. And it sends all this thing to the database. So that's in Firebase. Shoot.
Yep. Sorry about that. So your 2 minutes is up, but thank you all for your presentation and nice job. All right. Now keep in mind, y'all, so the Q&A is open, right? So you all can start to drop your questions into the Q&A at this point in time, because we're going to be taking a look at those questions, and I'm going to present those questions afterwards for each individual group. So just as a reminder from the presentation so far and those that are coming up, if you have a question and you want more information, we want to give them that opportunity to give you more insight. So please feel free to drop that in the chat and we will go ahead and present those questions shortly. All right. But with that, we are going to move on to our next team. So our next team is Nutrahub. This says the description, Grubhub integration to track student nutritional information. And make sure, Nutrahub, if you raise your hand, we'll bring you on screen. and give you the opportunity to present. Nutrahub going once. Here we go. And you have 2 minutes once you begin.
All right, our project is Nutrahub. I'm Jacob. Nutrahub so at Ohio State, we each eat, on campus about 10 meals or more. I eat a lot more, on the unlimited plan. I'm constantly going to the dining hall. So the ability to track that information would be really great just in a seamless environment. So that's what we've done here with Grubhub. So our plan would be to take through our tools and a seamless integration in Grubhub to show students their like nutritional information taken all from like the Ohio State website. Here's a little video demo of the app we created. Here's a little like sign-in screen. And then here it pops up the kind of graph of what you've, kind of the facts of each day. You'd be able to overlay both like 2 different types of attributes like fat calories and regular calories. And then at the bottom there as well, you could have the date range like today or like the last month. Here's some of the information that Nutrahub can give you. These are all the attributes that are available through the Ohio State website for all dining locations.
30 seconds.
Yeah, okay. So here's the database we used. We took all the data from the website and put it into Access. That wasn't a good way to hit an API or anything, so we just kind of hard-coded all that. Worked a lot with Android Studio and the MP chart library. And then going forward in the future, we would have it seamlessly integrated with Grubhub, either in the app or some other way, and integrated with Ohio State service such that they can constantly add new menu items. And yeah. Awesome. Thanks.
Thank you. All right, y'all. So listen, that was Nutrahub. All right. And so once again, a reminder, if you have any questions, to drop them in the chat for the Q&A that's coming up soon. We are almost to that point. However, our next presenter, the Fine Fellows, peer-to-peer lending platform that allows people to follow friends and donate or loan money at a personal interest rate. All right. So the Fine Fellows, raise your hand to come on the screen and present. And you will have, once you begin, you will have 2 minutes.
Hello. So our idea was a way that people can invest in other people through friendly lens. So we got this idea inspired by kind of the pandemic. A lot of people are falling on hard times, and banks aren't always the easiest way for people to get a loan. So our idea was peer-to-peer lending through kind of a social network. So you can really get to know, and you really know who you're lending to. And you can invest in people for who they are based off of who they are rather than just their credit score. So we made a web interface. We have a sign up and a login, and these both are functioning. And then we also have our main interface here. So we have our homepage where you can see people's posts. So this is Clark's post. He says that he would like a loan for his small business. So if I enter an amount of money, I can say $5. It says here that I can charge him 5% interest on the loan. He set that when he made this post, and I can press loan, and then it says thanks. And so now if Clark signed in, he would see that the money he has is listed as $5 more, and the money he owes is going to be a little bit more than $5 because of that interest. And that's calculated into the money owed. We also have this friends page where you can select who you want to view the posts of, and you can just update that. And then if you go back to the home page, the new posts will load based off of who you are friends with. And then finally, we have the make post page where you enter your money, enter the interest that you're willing to pay to somebody, and then enter your text. It says it's posted, and then it will show up in everybody's feed. Thank you.
Thank you. The fine fellows, the fine fellows. All right. So this is, I believe this is going to be our final presentation, right? Before we jump into some of the questions, okay? So here we go. We love Nanahara, right? Columbus is a great city, and most of us miss going out and visiting places special to Columbus. But post-COVID vaccine, there needs to be a way to incentivize promoting Columbus's roots, small businesses, and parks. And with that being said, we are going to, let's see, did you raise your hand? Or,
right.
Here we go. I think it's almost time. Yep.
All right, can you see my screen?
We sure can.
All right, so this is Columbus Sticker IO, and as you said, this is a website about Columbus and about Columbus's unique places, small businesses, events, all about that. So with this, you can sign in into Google, and once you have done that, you're shown into your dashboard. And if you go to somewhere like HackOHI, HackOHI can give you a physical sticker, a unique physical sticker, showing that you have been to HackOHI and visited its science museum. And with that, you can redeem your sticker and add it to your website. So this account currently has a couple of stickers, so let's start. You'll notice that I have 3 stickers. I visited Hot Chicken Takeover, visit the Clock Tower, I visit an event called HioCon. And this is 30% of the unique stickers obtained in Columbus. So since I visited somewhere else, I can enter a code in. Later, this will be changed to a more QR code and location-based service, so that proves that you went to the event. I can redeem the sticker, and it shows that I went to the Field of Corn that's in Dublin right now. So going back to the dashboard, you notice that the number of stickers is now 4, and I have completed 40% of the stickers. I can also go to the community page where it shows stats such as Columbus giving out 8,070 stickers and many other smaller stats such as the park stickers, recreational stickers. And you notice that there's a huge goal to reach 25,000 stickers. If I redeem yet another sticker here quickly, and I refresh this page, you notice that the number of stickers has now been increased. This is live. There's a map where I can check a few places that have stickers, like John Glenn Airport. I also have history tabs where you can read about these places, and you can even look at these stickers and tweet about it if you really wanted to.
All right.
That ends our presentation. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. All right. So that is actually it, you all, for our presentations, right? So first of all, I want to thank each of our participants and each of the teams. Obviously, you put in a lot of time and work to present today. And now what we want to do is we want to actually go to some Q&A from our audience. And as a reminder, right, this is when we'll also do our Buckeye Choice Poll. So in the chat, stay tuned for the Buckeye Choice Poll, where you will have the opportunity to select which presentation you like the most. All right. So with that being said, let's go ahead and go to some of the questions. All right. Let's see. Here we go. Team Psych. Looks like you are going to be the first. So raise your hand and they'll bring you back on screen. Okay. Can Team Psych mention any bias issues in their intruder recognition platform? Once again, Team Psych, can you mention any bias issues in your intruder recognition platform?
Could you please repeat the question again? I went off a bit.
Yep, I sure can. Can Team Psych mention any bias issues in their intruder recognition platform?
All right, so we had one of the judges come to us and we were talking about how facial recognition could have really problems with Black people, since it has records of that already. And we realized that how that could be solved was either using a more fair data set, because with algorithms, you have to train over the data set. So if there's more, like there's less Black people being used to train the algorithm, that's gonna be, it will be like less accurate in determining whether it was this actual Black person that did it or not. So we realized that if we used a better, or like a more fair or more Black people in the training of the algorithm, we would actually fix that kind of racial bias. Yeah, and we also talked about how the algorithm, right? We also talked about how the algorithm determines people by flipping colors. So if another type of algorithm was determined or like used instead of the flipping colors, it could also solve that kind of issue.
Okay, thank you for that response. All right. One thing I want to do is, I know we kind of got into the questions. Team conflicting 409s. 409s. If you are still out there, you have an opportunity before we wrap up this section to present. So I would ask that you raise your hand if you would like to present. All right. In the meantime, we're going to move on to a question for to do, right? Does Cadence, and please raise your hand so you can come back on, does Cadence support classes? And this is for to do tomorrow.
Hi, yeah, that's a great question. So we designed our architecture to include classes, but we didn't have the time to synthesize the data for our natural language model. So it's 100% like technically feasible. We just needed more time, and we were focused on other aspects for the hackathon as a proof of concept.
Okay, and you could stay on because you have a second question. And it says, how does Quick Card work with times when teachers want students to know a more limited definition?
That is not, I think that's another team. We didn't do Quick Card.
We were Cadence.
Okay. That was Cadence, yep, okay. All right, so thank you all for your response then in regards to supporting classes. And we will move on to the next one, right? So this is to do tomorrow, okay? So if you want to come back on screen. All right, for Quick Card. And so the question is, how does Quick Card work with times when teachers want students to know a more limited definition?
So to handle more limited, I guess I'm not totally sure what you mean by more limited definitions, but once you get the definitions handed back by the definition API, you can actually just manually edit the definition if it doesn't quite fit what you what the teacher gave you or what you want it to be. So you can fully customize the cards that it auto generates for you.
Okay. Thank you very much. As a matter of fact, hold on a second.
All right.
There's one more question for Quick Card.
Okay.
So it says, how does Quick Card work in cases that teachers may want students to know? Actually, it sounds like that's the same one. Yeah, disregard that. That was twice. Oh, never mind, they updated. So it says, how does Quick Card work in cases that teachers may want students to know a more limited definition? For example, notes contain term/definition pairs already.
Oh, so like if you use a PDF, you can actually fully cut. So we didn't like fully build the PDF functionality into the, so that you can build flashcards out of the PDF. But basically from the PDF, you can actually like custom highlight the parts of the PDF that you want to turn into study materials. So it's very open-ended.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for your response. All right. And I'm trying to get the name. Okay, here we go. So this is, yeah, so this is for clickbait. We have a question for clickbait.
All right, yeah, that's the list.
All right. What technology stack are you using?
Okay, so we are making use of PHP and JavaScript. So using the AWS JavaScript SDK, we're using one of their cloud services called Textract, which is like a online optical character. It can pull text off of documents. So basically, you can use PHP to upload the file to our server. The server then sends the file off to AWS using their JavaScript SDK. It pulls all the characters off, sends it back, puts it in our database, and then from there we reference an API that grabs the definition for each of those words. And then from there we generate flashcards. So, yep.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. There's a question for the Fine Fellows. Fine Fellows, right? The personal loaning app. And it says, how does the app ensure the person that loaned you the money pays up? And especially since it's a family member.
I think it paused for a second. Can you repeat the question?
Yeah, here we go. It says, how does the app ensure the person that loaned you the money pays up? Or borrowed. I take it that's the, well, they said that loaned you the money pays up. So maybe you hit both sides, the person that loaned you the money and the person that received the money or borrowed the money as well. 2 for 1.
So I think we didn't really think about how to guarantee that the person who receives the loan pays it back. I think there could definitely, we did discuss some sort of like rating system, kind of like an Uber or Lyft does, where you can rate individuals on how well they interact with you. And I think the other side, if I understood the question correctly, if you loan somebody money, you would just, the money would just go to them from your account when you press the loan button.
Okay, thank you. The next question is going to be for hugs, not bugs. Hugs, not bugs. And come back on the screen. And the question is, how did you utilize / transfer data to the Xbox Connect?
Hello?
Yep, you're back.
I think I missed the question if you asked for it.
Yeah, no problem. It says, how did you utilize / transfer data to the Xbox Connect?
Yeah, so there's this great open source library called libfreenect. I think, yeah, that's what it's called. And so we would get from the Connect right here, we get a video and you get a depth image. So you take the pixel, the X coordinate of somebody's pixel. There's some equation for calculating, you know, the angle that it is. And then we also plug that pixel into the depth map to get the distance it is from the camera. So using the angle and the distance, we can get, you know, precisely, you know, roughly where they are.
Thank you very much. Pretty interesting. All right. So let's see. This is for, I think it's Sticker.io. Can you talk about, and this is for Sticker.io, can you talk about how they handled authentication keys?
Sure. We just use Firebase's authentication. From that, you can use a Google account, and Firebase will take care of that for you. So they will create a unique user ID, and it'll make sure it's like signing in with Google. So that's why it's all done by Google, so it's safe that way.
Okay. Thank you very much. And based on what I'm seeing, I believe that we have asked or answered all the questions. If there are any additional questions, feel free to drop them in the chat right now. One other thing I will do is, and this is the last call for 409, I believe. Last call for 409. Going once, going twice. And with that being said, I believe we are going to move on. All right. So now, with that being said, I definitely want to thank each of our participants. Oh, hold on. Yep. Each of our participants. And what we're going to end up doing next is we're going to go ahead and move on, right? So hopefully you all saw the poll, right, for the Buckeye Choice poll, to go ahead and get that knocked out as well. And what we're going to do is our sponsored challenges, right? So, yep, the Buckeye poll is in there. So feel free to go ahead and rate your favorite project, okay? And it's important that you do that, all right? We need that input. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and we're going to move on to our sponsor challenges. These are, as you all know, these are challenges from real world industry situations brought to students by corporate sponsors. So this, for those that participated on Friday, for the opening session. I think you may have seen some of those opportunities that presented itself, and we're going to go ahead and get it kicked off. So we're going to start with Capital One, and let Capital One go ahead and talk through their segment. Is Capital One available?
Capital One had some tech difficulties. It looks like they were impacted by the power outage.
Yep.
So let me see if I can pull up the description.
Yep.
Is it up? If it's up, go ahead and please inform us about it. They're not going to be able to join us right now.
Absolutely. So in their absence, I'll go ahead and still share what they had focused on. So Capital One challenged HackOHI to create the best financial hack. Their goal was to see students solve financial problems that they are passionate about. The winner of Capital One's best financial hack is, drum roll y'all, all right, Stonks.io. The application financial advice to layman's using a React front end with an API that calculated a person's financial journey using an ML model trained using data from the latest US Census. All right. So once again, the winner of the best financial hack for Capital One is Stonks.io. So congratulations to their team. Sorry that there were some technical difficulties, but congratulations on that. And once again, the application financial advice to layman's using a React front end with an API that calculated a person's financial journey using an ML model trained using data from the latest US Census. All right. All right. Congratulations. So we're going to move on to our next sponsor, which is Nexient. So Nexient.
Hey, Kevin, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Sure can, Bryce. Go.
So hey, everyone. So I'm Bryce Levin. I'm a director at Nexient. We're a Silicon Valley-based company, but with delivery centers in Columbus and also another city pretty close to you guys, but it's just up north is what I'll say. So we sought, we're a services delivery company. So kind of you would think about consulting and services. We build a lot of software for a lot of different companies. And so the challenge we chose was to kind of disrupt the transportation industry, mainly around supply chain. So, I think we all see so many Amazon trucks or all kinds of different trucks that are delivering things. And, it's great to get things next day, but it's at a horrible cost to the environment. So one thing we wanted to kind of challenge this group was to come up with something that could be, that could disrupt that, make that more efficient, provide some other kind of consumer benefits. So, with that said, everyone that submitted our challenge, it was all really impressive. So I really want to say, we were really happy with everyone that shared with us. Everyone should be proud. I think the 10 participants that were demoed just now were really amazing. So definitely, it's a pleasure for me to be here. We chose the winner as the correlation coefficient with their application called Smart Route. So this was an innovative solution that that kind of routes traffic in real time based not only on the kind of quickest path to a location, but more a kind of expanded algorithm that maybe would direct around residential areas, around parks, maybe based on the vehicle, if it's a truck versus a car, kind of steered around different throughways that may make more sense or have less impact. So we thought this was a really nice take on the problem. We thought they had the most complete implementation based on what we saw. The UI was nice. The demo really went very well. And they had good ideas for taking it to market, and we could really see tangible businesses all across the board that could utilize some kind of smart routing, if you will. So really congratulations to them, but also to everyone else. And it's a great event, but I was really happy to see what we saw. So thanks so much for having us.
Thank you so much, Bryce. We appreciate you and Nexient for being a sponsor and for the recognition as well.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so we're going to move on to Lambden. Lambden is next.
Hi, can you guys hear me?
We sure can.
Cool, great. So basically our challenge was open-ended in what you could do, but rather you should be using our toolkit of software, and the software we provide essentially allows you to deploy small applications which are monetized on a blockchain. And what we found is that a lot of people, this is brand new to a lot of people. And so it was an interesting opportunity to see like what would they do with this and what were the things that would come of it. And well, basically we had 5 prizes and 4 teams qualified. So everyone's getting a prize. So that's cool. But the community award, which is essentially like a kind of like a top prize, goes to Serve Share, which was a application that essentially decentralized computing resources, and so it's a marketplace where people could offer up their computers, and other people could post jobs and things like that for computing. And well, we really liked the idea, and they utilized our APIs really well. They thought through a lot of the edge cases and the approaches, and we could kind of see where they'd go if they decided to take this to the next step. So in terms of overall completeness, that was our winner.
Outstanding, outstanding.
Yeah, so these are the other ones. So we had a basically like an election voting application. We had a decentralized kind of like a Grubhub system, and then we had like an offer up sort of loan your if you had like an item you wanted to loan to people, a marketplace for that.
All right. Well, thank you so much. We appreciate it. I'm sure that they do as well. Congratulations to our winners, and thank you, Landon. All right, Stuart. So let's move on from Landon to AEP. So our representatives from AEP available. Here we go. I think you may be on mute. Any luck there? I think you're still on mute. All right, bear with us. We're going to pause for a second and give our representative an opportunity. Let's see, it says can't unmute. So we need to get Steve Brown unmuted. Let's see what we can do here. There you go.
Is that better?
That is better. You are good to go.
Okay. Yeah, thanks. Appreciate the opportunity. Yeah, we saw a lot of great entries, so appreciate all the teams that worked on our challenge. So for our challenge, we provided some images and some metadata about some of our utility poles and asked the teams to do something, novel and useful with that data. A number of good entrants. Everyone brought something unique to the challenge. But at the end, we are awarding our top prize to the team Bingus for their utility pole safety evaluator. So they took that challenge, kind of to that next level, and not only used the data to put together a model to steer an unattended drone route to do pole inspection, but took it to the point of using that imagery to calculate, leaning poles and which poles needed to be serviced. So, really appreciate what they brought and really impressed by their entry.
Outstanding. Outstanding. Congratulations, Bingus. So thank you so much, Steve. We appreciate your participation, and obviously AEP is a sponsor as well. And thank you for selecting that winner. All right. With that being said, we will move on to our next sponsor, which is State Auto Insurance.
Good afternoon. Can you hear me?
We sure can.
Good. Thank you. As Kevin was mentioning earlier, Ohio, and especially Central Ohio, is a happening place for a lot of the technology-related initiatives, and I think he eloquently talked about all the startup companies that are here. I want to say that State Auto is a 99-year-old company headquartered in Columbus, Ohio, like I mentioned 2 days ago. We are going to be celebrating our 100th year anniversary next year. And this is a company which works like a startup culture mentality. So now we are trying to leverage a lot of the technology innovations to make it easy for our customers. So the problem statement that we put forth was leverage publicly available data sources from multiple areas, whether it is weather, whether it is climate change, whether it is crime, right? Make use of the publicly available information and provide an easy to use, intuitive solution to home buyers or property owners or property buyers to see what is the risk that they are taking by purchasing a property or the property that they already own. So the team that, by the way, there are 20 teams that worked on this problem. We are so happy and thankful to each of the teams that chose to work on this. The team that won the challenge is the team Our Hackers, team number 31. The team members are Michael, Dylan, Matthew, and Annalise. Their solution is very intuitive. It gives you the US map. You can point and click, right? And it will compare. You can continue to click. It will show the top 4 ones. They are the most recently clicked 4 locations. And it actually gets the real data from 3 different sources. They developed APIs to get data from the 3 real sources. And based on that, they gave a very easy to understand ranking. So very, very, very easy to use, very helpful solution. Very, very proud of all the teams that worked on it and the team that came out on top. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and congratulations, Haver Hackers. Nice job. So thank you very much, State Auto, for your support as a sponsor as well. And now we'll move on to our next sponsor, which is Honda.
Awesome. Hi there. This is Eric Bauer with Honda Research and Development. Again, I want to echo the words of the other sponsors in saying thank you, everyone, for, first of all, attending this event, but also for the folks that submitted to our challenge. Our challenge was basically trying to address the value laden in your investment in mobility. Your cars and trucks and even, say, scooters that you invest in over the course of your lifetime are probably the second most expensive assets that you invest in. So the team that won our challenge was the Smart Route project, I believe from, I can't remember the team name, but Smart Route was also the winner of Nexient, and they did an excellent job of, first of all, presenting their solution kind of at the end of our thing, and we were able to see exactly how, you know, we would picture ourselves in the problem. Essentially, they were trying to solve more efficient routing and the congestion that happens when maybe an accident occurs and everyone has to get off the highway. And I certainly know I've lived through that, so I appreciate both at a personal and at a company level what they were able to create. Now, because we also had a lot of strong entries and it worked out prize-wise, we want to recognize a runner-up with Dream Team and Big Brain. So they did a great algorithm where they were looking at recommending places of interest from the car, and we thought that was also an excellent solution. So great job.
Outstanding. Thank you, Eric, for your participation, Honda's participation as a sponsor, and then selecting the winner as well as the runner-up. Nice job. Thank you so much for that. And we're going to move on to our next sponsor, which is going to be JP Morgan Chase. Before we start there, real quick, one reminder, the poll, right? Don't forget, right? You all have a chance for the Buckeye Award, so we want to make sure you are selecting your top team that presented earlier today. We had some amazing presentations, some hard work over the weekend, so please make sure you recognize them accordingly. Now, let's move on to JP Morgan Chase.
Awesome, thank you. Hi, everybody. My name is Morgan. I'm here representing JP Morgan Chase. So I'll obviously echo all the other sponsors and saying thank you so much for spending your weekend and for everyone who worked on our challenge. We really appreciate it. So we presented the Best Hack for Social Good Challenge, which was a really, really broad topic, obviously, and we loved seeing all the different projects that really address today's issues in the spirit of social good. So our winner for our challenge today was the Hacky Sacks. And they built the face mask detector. So they built a web application to track if people are basically wearing a face mask and complying with certain local rules if they're wearing it correctly, and had some really cool ideas about how that could be actually implemented in society. So we were really impressed with their overall level of innovation, the technical skills they showed while doing it, and then just how practical their solution was in addressing an actual social problem that could affect a lot of people. So thank you so much, everybody. Obviously, it was really hard to choose our favorite project because they were all really amazing. And you should all be really proud of yourselves for completing this hackathon. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Morgan. We appreciate it. We appreciate you and JP Morgan Chase as a sponsor and being participative and supporting what's happening here. So really nice job. Thank you. Okay, so listen, y'all, we're not done yet with our sponsors, but we are going to make a slight shift. And we're going to come back to wrap up that component. But what I want to do right now is I want to remind you again in the poll, right? So you want to make sure you select your favorite team that presented today. But real quick, we want to switch gears for a second because we want to go ahead and talk about the Tech for Social Justice. There was a special challenge that we had. And what this was about, this as a reminder, it was a challenge to create technology that will help further advance diversity, equity, and inclusion. This hack is meant to empower individuals, promote fair treatment, and give back to your community. Judging will be based or was based on addressing the above criteria and the impact that tech has on people while also looking at the innovation and creativity of the project. So I want to introduce Kevin Pacino to describe what he saw from the competitors and their projects. So Kevin, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Kevin. I'd like to thank everyone for involvement with the hack this weekend. In particular, the 10 teams that worked on the hack for Tech for Social Justice. We had, the judging was, as with other cases, very difficult. And everyone did such a great job. So we had two top groups. The runner-up was the threat detection group that you heard from earlier is one of the top 10. There's I think you can see the reasons why it was chosen as the runner-up. It has fantastic work going on, and it had a lot. We particularly noted that it was such a good idea, also because it had a lot of ways to extend it, and they understood the social justice issues connected with it. Okay, so thanks to that group. The second group that we chose as the #1 group was this group that was called Covade, was their project name, or B++ as a team. This was really intriguing for the judges. In their work, they looked at combining data from US Census Bureau on COVID prevalence, race, and poverty, and came up with some really nice way to present and discuss that information. It's very enlightening. We think it's highlighting, problem. It's very current. I think you see these issues highlighted in the news, and yet they really provided a very careful assessment of that. So congratulations to the B++ team, and thank you for all the participants. You all did some really fantastic work. Thanks.
Outstanding. And thank you, Kevin, for that input and feedback in regards to those teams. Congratulations, B++. One of the things that I'm going to do right now is I'm going to share just some personal perspective on that. I'm glad we had that particular component tied to this weekend. And one of the reasons why I'm very intricately involved, I think you all have seen that, I'm also the founder and CEO of ColumbusBlack.com. And I'm also working with a couple of other, obviously, projects tied to diversity, inclusion, and equity. And I've been sitting on a number of panels with different corporations to discuss how they take the next step. So I'm excited to see this is a part, and to see that these groups or these teams actually work toward that project. So between what I do with ColumbusBlack.com and a new organization, which is the Ohio Collective, we're focused on the inequities, diversity, inclusion, and equity throughout the state of Ohio and the big 8 cities, and how we can close those gaps and inequities that currently exist. So really appreciate that and look forward to hearing and seeing more from those teams. With that being said, we are going to wrap up with our last sponsor, okay, which is Microsoft. So is the team from Microsoft ready to go? Microsoft team. Going once, going twice. Might still be on mute. Let's see. If you need to come off of mute, let me know.
Hey, I should be back now.
There we go.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Kevin. And I just want to thank all of the hackers who were involved this weekend. And we have been sponsoring for a couple of years now. And I think every year when we come, we are just, delighted to see the creative energy and the technical talent that's coming out of Central Ohio and really the whole state, as this has become an event that draws talent from all around the region. So our challenge this weekend was to use the Microsoft Graph APIs and leverage just a user's Microsoft profile to personalize your project and give it that just familiar experience when a user logs in, whether that be contacts or calendars or files in their OneDrive. So we had a lot of great projects, and this was definitely a hard choice for us. But without further ado, our winner is the PoliticB project by team dad.dy. PoliticB is a web app that encourages young people to get politically involved in their communities by connecting them and exposing them to what their peers are interested in and what their peers are advocating for, along with focusing on headlines in their local community. As they said, everyone focuses on national politics, but there's a real opportunity to create these local communities, and that was what their website emphasized. We chose to give this award to them because they implemented and integrated the Microsoft Graph. They use Microsoft Login. They can connect you with your contacts, and down the road, they had additional integration planned with OneDrive and Microsoft Teams. And we could also tell, just looking at the project and the direction, that they'd really planned a sustainable engineering course. And when I say that, I mean they had already had an application deployed, and one of the first things they got set up was continuous integration and continuous delivery. So all of their pull requests automatically redeployed the app. And when we were looking at that, that's a good sign of a maturing application and a product team. So we were really impressed by that, and each of them will be getting a Surface Go as the prize. Thank you.
Nice, nice. Congratulations, and thank you so much. We want to thank the team from Microsoft for your participation as well this year. So awesome job. Great insight as well in regards to the team. So with that being said, and by the way, that's not a bad prize, right? So listen, y'all, it wouldn't be right. This is HackOHI 2020, and one of the things I didn't do earlier that I have to do right now, OH, I heard it loud and clear, all right? So with that being said, we asked you all to do us a favor, right? So we talked about the Buckeye Choice Award, right? And you all had an opportunity to vote. And so what I want to share is that the winner, right? The winner of the Buckeye Choice Awards is To Do, right? So To Do led with the highest percentage of votes, closely followed by Hugs Not Bugs, all right? So that's congratulations, right? So 25% of the votes went to Do, and 24% went to Hugs Not Bugs, all right? So congratulations on leading the charge there. And To Do was the winner of the Buckeye Choice Awards. Congratulations for HackOHI 2020. Way to go. With that being said, there are a couple of announcements that I need to make. Okay, so we're going to jump into announcements. Looking for other ways to connect with the College of Engineering? You can join on November 17th for Engineering Cures for Cancer, a virtual event featuring Dean Dave Williams and 3 engineering researchers who are innovating detection, prevention, and treatment of cancer. For more details or to register, you may visit the link that's going to be posted in the chat. That should be posted momentarily. Okay, so make sure you follow up. That is going to be on November 17th. Engineering Cures for Cancer. An awesome virtual event. Very, very powerful one. Next, the college is in the middle of the Pay Forward Triple Match Program. So from now until November 25th, alumni who have graduated since 2011 can make a contribution to any part of the college, including student programs like OHIO, and their gifts will be tripled thanks to the generosity and leadership of some of our older alumni. To learn more or to donate, just visit go.osu.edu/triple2020. Obviously, we're going to drop that link in the chat for you as well, but that's go.osu.edu/triple2020. And be sure to give the OHIO program, all right? So you want to give it a shout, all right? Now, with that being said, they're going to post that link, and they're also going to post the fund information in there for you as well, okay? So now we're going to move into our Hack Ohio Awards, okay? So what I want to do is I'm going to introduce our VIPs. We mentioned them earlier, right, by name. So those are very important panelists, and they're going to present our Hack Ohio Awards, okay? Our VIPs, as you know, they are people that have had an outstanding impact on the Hack Ohio and have gone above and beyond to facilitate the growth and excellence of the OHIO program. So they're dedicated and committed to the success of this program, and we're excited. You know, we talked about last year. Last year I was there, and I mean, there's like 1,000+ people in the room, right? It was amazing. This year things have changed, and guess what? We're still able to do this virtually. So I want to thank our VIPs for their commitment. And this is what we're going to do. We're going to kick it off. I'm going to turn it over to Ted Griffith to present our honorable mention 1 and honorable mention 2, and the best new to hack, excuse me, right? So I'm gonna turn it over to Ted if he is ready to go.
All right, thank you guys. Great job today. It's a big deal to be in the top 10, and the two honorable mentions, very highly rated by our judges. You got into the top 10, very competitive field, is Conflicting 409 and To Do Tomorrow. And the award for that will be $50 Amazon gift certificates or gift cards. For best new hack, the award is a Bose Solo 5 TV soundbar, and the winning team is We Love Nanihara. The reason why we awarded this is we love how you gamified a meaningful activity for the city, thinking about context and making a difference. Over to you, Diane.
All right, most impactful, drum roll please. The 8th team to present was Nutrahub, and we were very happy to name them most impactful app. What we liked about it most was, you know, the nod to wellness, especially in these times of COVID, and just thought it was the right, a really great way to help people stay healthy. So everyone's going to get a Fitbit Charge 4. Congratulations. The next team that wins the award for most original was the 9th team to present the Fine Fellows. Congratulations to all of you for your peer-to-peer lending platform. We love the idea of Friendly Lends, especially, you know, the inspiration for this, again, tied to the pandemic and people falling on hard times. The idea of lending to someone based on who they are, not just their credit score. So congratulations, everyone on that team gets a set of AirPods Pro. And now I'm going to turn it on over to Damon Jaggers.
Hello, everyone. I get the honor. Oh, I'm doing best UI UX. This is new to me. I actually have. This is out of order, folks.
Wait. Which one are you presenting?
I'm presenting Microsoft third place and Microsoft runner-up.
Okay. Don't look. No one look.
The good thing is we're nimble, right? We make adjustments on the fly. That's what we do.
This looking better?
Yeah, and to tell you the truth, I was told that these were going to be on the slides. So I don't have this in front of me. I'm sorry.
There you go.
Clickbait. There you go, everyone. I feel horrible about this, everyone, because I don't have the list of what the prizes were as well. And the runner-up is correlation coefficient. Congratulations, everyone, to this. And I'm sorry this has just been a little rougher than it would normally be. I do want to say from the libraries, and this is, I've been affiliated with this for my 5 years here, and the work that's done by these groups is just amazing, and it's very much an honor for us to be involved. And now I'm going to pitch it over to Scott Osborne.
And Damon, real quick before you pitch it over, from what I'm seeing, because it's some pretty cool prizes. It looks like Microsoft third place, foldable drone with camera for Microsoft third place. Not bad.
Yeah. Thanks so much, Kevin. I appreciate that.
Teamwork makes the dream work. All right.
So
There we
before
go.
the grand prize winner, do we need to go back and pick the, announce the other one that you'd asked Damon to do, Kevin?
The best UI UX, you mean?
Did we already?
No, I don't think so. So we can, I think we should obviously do that as well. So if Jacob can assist us with getting to that slide, I'm sure we can get that knocked out also. And stay tuned, there it is. Scott, did you want to do the honors? I think he'll flip the slide so you'll be able to see who the winners are.
Okay. The winner for best IU UX is Kodo. Congratulations.
That would be the voice editor project.
Awesome. Congratulations. I see a bunch of congrats in there. And it looks like they will won. Let me see, what will they win? Excuse me. A HP 23.8 inch monitor. So congratulations on your win. Awesome. And then most technically difficult, looks like, Scott? I think you're on mute. Yep, there you go.
Most technically difficult project winner is Team Psych.
Woo. All right.
Team Psych, the threat detector.
It'll be the threat detector project.
Congratulations, Team Psych. And it looks like they get the keyboard. Is that right? It looks like, yep. All right, congratulations.
All right, we're ready now for the Microsoft Grand Prize winner. Drum roll. Hugs, not bugs. So congratulations, Hugs, not bugs.
Congrats.
And you'll each be receiving a Microsoft Surface laptop. So congratulations and thank you for a great job.
All right. So, and I believe that is it for our winners, right? We get everybody, want to make sure, all right? Here we go. So I want to say congratulations to all of our participants won. And then obviously to all of our winners. I want to thank our judges, our VIPs, everybody that was involved in this process, right? For HackOHI 2020. These were some amazing projects. One thing I can tell you is from being a startup founder and dealing with technology on a day in and day out basis, there was a lot of work that was done this weekend. So congratulations to each of you for your hard work, your participation. And the one thing I know is everyone grew from this weekend. Every single one of you grew in one way or another. So don't forget, stay in touch with each other, build those relationships to make it happen and keep going. The next thing that I have is I want to make sure, so Make Ohio, was mentioned earlier, Make Ohio is right around the corner, right? If you're interested in participating, you want to hit hack.osu.edu. We'll drop the link in the chat as well, but that's HackOHI That's hack.osu.edu. You want to definitely get involved. Make sure, you know, the big thing is this. You all know all these organizations, everything we do, Hack Ohio, Make Ohio, all volunteer ran, right? But this is when you get the opportunity to bring your expertise, your passions, your desire to the table to help to make these events extremely successful, just like the one today. So we would love to have more people involved. So please make sure you reach out. Once again, hack.osu.edu. Earlier, I talked about the projects I'm working on. I left my information. You all can find me on LinkedIn, right? Kevin Lloyd on LinkedIn, or you can email me, kevinlloyd@myle.com. That's MYLE.com. But I look forward to seeing you all involved and engaged and continuing to be a part of all the success that we have going on right here in Columbus, Ohio, and abroad. All right. So with that being said, once again, thank you very much. Congratulations on your involvement today with Hack Ohio 2020. And the way I did it a little while ago, I just want to say, OH, y'all got the rest. Thank you.